valued at 130 points. Standing at a large 6, this Death Commander is a precise Soulborg unique hero. It is Death Commander Mark III. Death Commander Mark III has a life of 2, a move of 5 spaces, a range of 5, an attack of 4 dice, and a defense of 7 dice. Death Commander Mark III has 3 special powers, hence the Mark III. Heavy Support Command Beacon functions as so. When revealing an order marker on Death Commander Mark III's card, after taking his turn, if Death Commander Mark III is engaged, you may immediately take a turn with another unique or large Soulborg hero or squad you control that follows Utkar.
Death Commander Mark III has an ability called Heavy Support Command Beacon. When revealing an order marker on Death Commander Mark III's card after taking his turn, if Death Commander Mark III is engaged, you may immediately take a turn with another unique or large Soulborg hero or squad you control that follows Utkar. Death Commander Mark III is engaged, so I will take a turn with the Deathstalkers. The Deathstalkers have a move of 7. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the Deathstalkers' basic attack is 3. But they have an ability called Maul. When rolling attack dice against a small or medium figure, if a Deathstalker rolls a skull on every die, the defending figure receives a wound for every skull and cannot roll any defense dice. And this also applies to height, too. So if they're on height, they would have to get all 4 instead of all 3.
Okay.
And I'm going to get this out of the way now. Commander Mark III has another special ability that will also be in effect this turn called Mark for Destruction.
Marked for Destruction functions as so. When a Soulborg figure that you control who follows Utkar attacks a figure engaged with Death Commander Mark III with a normal attack, before defense dice are rolled, you may reroll 1 attack die that did not show a skull. Marked for Destruction can only be used once for each attack. Marked for Destruction does not affect Death Commander Mark III.
When a Soulborg figure that you control who follows Utkar attacks a figure engaged with Death Commander Mark III with a normal attack, before defense dice are rolled, you may re-roll 1 attack that did not show a skull. Mark for Destruction can only be used once for each attack. Mark for Destruction does not affect Death Commander Mark III. So basically, since all these figures are attacking figures engaged with Death Commander, they get to re-roll 1 attack die that failed. So 1 on equal footing to that Warforged. 2. Now for Mark for Destruction, I get to re-roll that fail. And that becomes a Maul. So that Warforged cannot roll defense for that attack. Beautiful. And this guy will be attacking down on that Warforged with an attack of 4. 2. And I get to reroll 1 fail. And that did not convert, but it's still 2. So that guy has to defend.
Okay, so you got what you got 2?
I got 2.
Alright, cool. Just gotta roll 1. Let's go. Ah, he's dead.
Explosive Rounds Special Attack functions as so. Range 5, Attack 3. Choose a figure to attack. You may also choose 1 other figure adjacent to the targeted figure to be affected by Explosive Rounds Special Attack. Roll attack dice once for both figures. Each figure rolls defense dice separately. When Death Commander Mark III attacks with his Explosive Rounds Special Attack, he may attack 1 additional time.
With his special attack called Explosive Round Special Attack, which is range 5, attack 3. Choose a figure to attack. You may also choose one other figure adjacent to the targeted figure to be attacked or to be affected by Explosive Round Special Attack. Roll attack dice once for both figures. Each figure rolls defense dice separately. When Death Commander Mark III attacks with his Explosive Round Special Attack, he may attack one additional time. So, this is a special attack. He does not get height advantage from this, but he will attack that Roman Legionnaire, and he will choose that one behind him to also be affected by this attack. So, attacking with 3. Let's see what we get. 1.
Alright. And that is for both figures, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I have a defense of 2, but because I have 2 other Roman Legionnaires, I get an extra 2 dice.
Perfect. So you're fine
2.
with that one?
Yes.
And then the other one behind him.
Okay.
Yeah, do that too. He's
Two as
also
well.
fine. Okay. Now I get to do this one more time. When Death Commander Mark III attacks with with his Explosive Round Special Attack, he may attack one additional time.
Okay.
So I will attack the same figure, but choose this one instead.
Okay.
So let's see what we get. Don't worry about it.
All right. Don't worry
He's
about it.
absolutely fine.
Absolutely fine. Did you want to start off again?
Nah, you can do it.
Okay.
Or should I do it and say, "Hi, welcome back to the Evil Robots of Heroscape show, starring Joe and me, Glenn."
There we go.
Did you want to keep it? Keep it. Don't worry, it's not going to be all robots.
It's a lot of robots.
But it's a lot of robots.
It's a lot of robots. We're doing a lot of robots.
I ain't saying it's robots, but it's
I
robots.
ain't saying it's robots. But it's robots. It's a lot of robots.
Well, today you can almost say it's the robot.
It's the
'Cause
robot.
today we ran Death Commander Mark III.
Hey, welcome back to Heroscape Spotlight. My name is Joe. That is Glenn, my Death Commander expert today. And, man, he is... I want to play with him so bad after this.
Is he fantastic?
He is fantastic. He does 2 things that I absolutely love doing in Heroscape, which I just realized today.
Yeah.
Rushing and bonding.
Yep.
I love that.
He makes them go together like bread and butter, peanut butter jelly.
It's peanut butter jelly time with the Death Commander Mark III. Fantastic. Fantastic custom. Holy crap.
Yeah. No.
Wow.
Again, if you haven't seen last week or last episode,
Last time, we did the Zedian Infantry.
which also were like Death Commander, were a legal unit. So
Yep.
if you are new to this unit in general and just got done watching the demonstration and wonder, wow, that guy's for 130 points, he can do all that
130.
for 130 points. Well, the community deemed it possible. And here we have...
Yeah, we can't backtrack now.
Here we have the most...
Already approved.
And the result is the most rules-heavy Utgar Solberg I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Custom or otherwise.
Yeah, he's got...
3 paragraphs of rules.
3 paragraphs of rules. So, we have... well, actually,
Before we get into those, though, the fun stuff, let's get into the basics.
the basics. And let's go to one of the important things, and that is his range. Deathwalkers.
Right.
They're tanks. They're
Basically.
walking tanks.
Yeah,
they
they're-
move slow, and they have this large range.
Yeah. Which combined with their crazy defense dice, their defense count is insane.
Yes.
You're meant to play with them, I think, pretty defensively. I believe that was sort of the intent behind their design, is that you have a very defensive-oriented robot that you don't want to take the risk of running out there because he's got that 1 life, and if you get the 1 attack in, and if you whiff your defense rolls, he's gone.
Yeah.
You
got 8,000 with 8 dice, 9,000 with 9 dice, 10,000 with 10 dice.
Now you're
An
being silly.
11 with 11 dice.
Why are you talking?
So when's 12 coming out?
Joe, you're being ridiculous. Those last 2 units aren't real. If only.
They are.
Yeah, no, they are.
No, they are.
They are.
So, Death Commander is not a Death Walker,
No.
and so he commands the army, and so he has only a range of 5. That's that makes you think so differently
Oh, yeah.
about using him, because other than the other rules and kind of forcing you to rush with him, I believe the range does that as well. It kind of forces you to move forward.
Yeah, the range is a big incentive to close the distance to really use his attacks. Now, that's not the only incentive, you know. Just having a weakness in terms of range doesn't necessarily mean, okay, I need to rush with this guy. The other important thing to know about this Death Commander,
What's that?
is the reason that makes him a Death Commander, not a Death Walker. He has 2 lives. 2 lives and you know, he's got 7 defense die, which is technically
Only 7.
It's the same amount as Death Walker 7000, which we're not going to talk about.
We just did, but okay.
So he's got a pretty Death Walker-y amount of defense. It's
He's
within
got
the realm.
In the Death Walker realm, I would say he's got a solid defense.
Yeah, just in Heroscape in general, 7 defense is a lot.
7 defense is nice. Not to say that you're gonna get a Death Walker roll and blank them all.
But if you do...
But if you don't.
If you don't, yeah.
If you don't, it's hefty. It's hefty, and that's good.
Yeah, no,
That's
yeah.
fantastic. That's great. 7 defense, you can't complain about defense.
No.
And 2 life.
2 life.
That's nuts.
It's a nice safety net, you know, because more often than not, and at least with our experience, like Deathwalkers usually comes down to that one skull that got in.
Yeah.
You know, we rarely ever blank with 10 defense. It's mostly like someone rolled 5, and the defender, the Deathwalker, rolled 4, and like, well, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
But with that 1 extra life, you know, it's that incentive to get in, to close the distance and play aggressively with him.
Yeah, and if you're used to running Deathwalkers and understanding that, yes, I have 1 life left, I gotta hold back, but, you know, sometimes you do have to, like, move forward and rush a little bit, and you say, all right, I have a lot of defense. All right, I can tank through this.
Yeah.
I can get this guy up forward. You have that extra life, so if you're used to that, just keep going.
Yeah.
Just keep going. You know, you can take this as a breeze, which is awesome. It's so much fun to see that you're so used to having everyone with 1 life, this large range, and here we are with 2 life,
who basically
short range.
Yeah, he basically takes that defensive playbook that everyone who plays Deathwalkers is probably used to running and just like rips it up.
Rips it up. Just take this card, rip it. Who cares? I can print out another one, but I don't want it, so I'll keep it like this.
So yeah, move of 5, range of 5, attack of 4, which is within the norm within Heroscape, but I think the normal sort of attack value for Deathwalkers is 3.
Even so, I mean, attack
It's a little
4,
swingy. It's a little swingy.
I mean, look, anyone with attack 4 is swinging.
Right.
I mean, you're shooting with a attack 4.
Yeah.
That scares me.
So just I deservedly so. Especially when he's like, you know, 5 spaces within your start zone, because if you play this guy how I think he's meant to be played, you're just getting him in, running him in.
Right. So run him in, and then what do you do after his turn?
Oh, this is
This
where the fun begins. This is
where the fun begins.
This is the fun part. We use his multitude of special abilities.
Yes.
Which one do you want to start with, Joe?
Let's see.
Just want to go in order?
Yeah, right in the order. What do you do exactly after your turn if you're engaged?
You use his heavy support command beacon, which is a rule that seems very strange in the Heroscape language. It's like it's not really bonding, but it is.
Yeah, you would think that it'd just be like Death Commander bonding.
Nope. This is
you
not.
bomb yourself or something, you know?
This ain't your father's bonding.
Your father's bonding.
This is a bonding that, again, is really reliant on that aggressive playstyle because it can only be triggered if he ends his turn engaged.
Yeah.
Now you can't do like any kind of cheesy chain bonding with like the Zenian infantry. You have to have an order marker on him for this to work.
Mm-hmm.
But so long as you end your turn engaged with him, you get to take another turn with any large or unique Soulborg heroes and squads. And I know that sounds very limiting, because that's like 4 qualifiers.
That sounds like a lot. Do I qualify to bond with Death Commander? I mean, I'm unique, right?
Right.
All right. I'm a hero. And I'm pretty large. So I think I qualify.
Yeah. I would say you'd be among the ranks of the Deathstalkers.
Deathstalkers.
The Zedian Guards,
Yep.
which are pretty underrated, especially when used with this guy, because I think he makes these units sing with his other abilities. And obviously other Deathwalkers.
Mm-hmm.
Deathwalkers are unique Soulborg heroes who follow Utgar, so...
And all of them are pretty large.
Yep.
Maybe huge. Possibly.
Don't say you're going to scare people. But yeah, the ideal play is to do this sort of 1-2 punch with his special abilities. You run him in, you attack with him, and there's a gambling element there, because you could just run him in, kill the person you're supposed to be engaged with, and then no more bonding. It's a win-win sort of, because you killed the guy you wanted to kill, but you don't get to do the fun bonding. So if you run him in, you maybe shave a couple wounds off the person you engaged with his initial attack or a special attack, and we'll get to that. And say you're still engaged. Run your Deathstalkers in, run your Zedian Guards in, take your pick. Deathwalker 9,000, 8,000, you get to just take a turn with him. And this is the 3 of the 1-2-3 punch, is his other ability. Just probably one of the coolest sounding abilities in Heroscape. It's called Marked for Destruction.
Ooh. That sounds like something straight out of Metallica.
Yeah. It sounds like a song that they would do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Marked for Destruction.
Like one of their earlier ones, though.
Yes.
Not like that 90s, like alternative crap.
No.
Mark for Destruction is as cool as it sounds. It's pretty much Death Commander telling his minions to just say, like, shoot him in the head. Shoot him in the head. I'm engaged with him. I'm pointing to him. Shoot him here.
Yeah.
Because if you're a Soulborg who follows Utgar, who attacks a figure engaged with Death Commander, like, say, the ones you just bonded with.
Yep.
With Heavy Support Command Beacon, you get to re-roll a failed attack roll.
Yep.
Now, it's only one, but...
One makes a huge difference.
One makes a huge difference, especially if you're running these guys, the Deathstalkers, because of their
maul.
Their lovely, lovely maul. Now,
maul.
for those of you who don't know, maul basically works like this. Their base attack is 3, but if they roll all 3 skulls, they become unblockable. So if you're attacking a figure who has 3 lives left, you get them all insta-kill. Done. Bane of all squad figures. Now, we have to put a caveat there. It's only small and medium figures.
Right.
You can't maul with everything.
No.
But a lot of stuff in Heroscape is obviously small or medium. So
yeah, so they're really good against squads.
Oh yeah, they eat squads for breakfast.
Eat squads. It's pretty much just 3 chomps right here if you're rolling good.
Yeah,
if you got a good roll day.
Yeah. But I think because they have that 3 attack, and if you get height, you get 4. They're still pretty tanky or pretty swingy, even if you don't get maul. They're pretty good. The idea, though, is that with Heavy Support Command Beacon, you get to make that go by that much faster.
Right.
But yeah, if you roll 2 out of 3 skulls, which is not completely unheard of.
Nope.
It's an average roll. You get to just re-roll that 1, potentially convert that into a maul, and your Death Commander engagement problems just kind of go away.
Yep.
And that's with one wolf. If you have 2 other wolves left, you could just keep doing those attacks on that same hero if you get them all engaged. And basically what I'm saying is this guy is creating sort of like a robot mosh pit around himself. Like he's saying, like he's getting himself involved in a big like scrum with other figures.
Yep.
And saying, okay, my minions, come to me.
Right.
And I'm going to make you hit that much harder.
Yeah, he's an accuracy buff.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
that does work with range squads. So if if you still want to do that defensive play, if you don't want to go all in with all your robots, you can still have your Deathwalker, your Zedian Guards standing in the back, taking pot shots at the person engaged with Death Commander, and Mark for Destruction will still work. Because as long as you're attacking a figure engaged with him, you still get that reroll, which
forcing that rushed play.
Yeah.
So he is meant for aggressiveness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rush in with Death Commander. Like you said, it is a gamble, sure, because if you're rushing in, he only has that 2 life. Yes, he has that 7 defense, but if you're getting swooped or if you're getting shot by a even bigger death walker, you know, I don't know who you're going up against, but if you got something pretty mean looking at your face,
yeah,
let's say you die,
yeah, but
you know, you're out of commission, but that's that gamble.
Yeah, but the alluring part of all this is, and the part that we're kind of trying to get to is, with him, so long as you end your turn engaged with him, you can get 5 attacks on one order marker.
Whoa.
What'd
you say? 5?
5 attacks, 3 of which you can have a reroll to be that much better.
Yeah.
And the reason why it's 5, and I'm only using this example with the wolves here, the reason it's 5 and not 4 is because of Death Commander Mark III's last ability.
Yes.
Which is
Explosive rounds special attack.
Yeah. This is essentially you're essentially combining explosion with double attack. Which, ooh. I mean, I'm sold. Like, you could have told me that first and I would have been... Now, we have to, obviously, we're overselling this a bit. It's not a full explosion.
Nope.
You're not potentially targeting 5 or 7 figures
at a time.
This is only, you're attacking one figure, and then you get to choose which figure adjacent to your target also gets to roll defense and be affected by it.
Right, so if I want to go with the Roman Legionnaires and I attack, you know, 1, they all have that shield wall ability.
Yeah.
So they're getting that extra defense, but here comes Death Commander using explosive round special attack. You go for 1, and then you choose, all right, you know what? Let's go to the one on the left because the other ones on the right aren't behind, so he's going to lose that defense from the front.
Yeah. Split them up, basically.
Split them up.
Or if the Roman Legionnaires, like in the demonstration, are protecting like a VIP, you don't even have to bother whittling down the Roman Legionnaires if you don't want to. Or any kind of screen for that matter. You can just hit the screen if it's in your range and then just have that extra attack go on to the unit next to it. And this is something I just found out now. I just realized now, explosive rounds is a range of 5, like his normal range. But since you're attacking an adjacent target, you can extend that up to 6. Because if the adjacent target is 1 space farther.
That's true.
So you can...
So your range is technically, can be 6.
It can be 6.
But here, you're not attacking with 4. You're attacking with 3.
You're attacking with 3. Which, in terms of special attacks, is pretty normal.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. You know, the attack gets buffed, dumbed down a bit.
Yeah.
But twice? Twice.
Yeah.
So you're attacking 4 units twice with 3.
Yeah. And if he's still engaged, you can then make all those other awesome attacks with the other units that you took with you for the army.
Right, and that's just on Death Commander's turn. Then you're using Heavy Support Beacon. So let's say with the Wolves, you're getting 3 attacks. Okay, with Maul, possibly getting the reroll, getting complete Mauls on squads or even on large heroes.
Yeah.
What?
This is almost like a 40k unit in terms of stuff that he does. Like he
does so much, and he works with a lot of different units.
Yeah, don't let all the qualifiers and heavy support command beacon like discourage you because you have all the Deathwalkers to play with, which are arguably the best units within Utgar Solborg's little like corner. But then you also have the Deathstalkers, which I don't really know how the community views them. I don't know if they think they're good units or not, but with
I think they're good.
With Death Commander, they're amazing.
I really think they're good. I mean, even
by themselves.
By themselves.
I mean, I think so too, but that's just, I'm biased for these guys anyway.
Very biased.
But with him,
do you think they are the best team? Could you say like this is like what else? Who else would you take instead of the Deathstalkers or
the Zedian
Guards?
Well, here's the thing. Mark for Destruction only affects normal attacks. So it's not like you're going to be getting rerolls with, like, Rapid Fire, for example.
That would be nuts.
That would be broken. That would be broken.
The game. Incredibly, yeah.
But I think the person who designed this, and I'm blanking on the name for the person who did it, but I think the person made it with these units in mind. It is good to get that 1 extra attack with Deathwalker, which if you played with Deathwalkers and you kind of know how to field them, like you're going to probably be attacking from height.
Yep.
You're probably going to be attacking from a safe place.
Mm-hmm.
So with that extra reroll, that's pretty good. But it's only 1 attack. I think do you really want to maximize the amount of hurt that you can put on someone with Death
bring
Commander?
squads.
Bring squads. Bring wolves. Bring Zedian guards. Now Zedian guards, unfortunately, are unique squads, so you can't take multiples of them. So you can't maximize the shooting in that case. But wolves are common, and 100 points. So they're a little pricey, but you could fit a lot of them with Death Commander and the Zedian guards into a 500-point army.
Yeah, I mean Zedian guards, Death Commander, and the
one squad of Deathstalkers.
One squad of Deathstalkers is only 300 points.
Yeah. Take 2 more squads of Deathstalkers.
Yeah, if you got the extra dogs, bring the extra dogs in.
And here's the thing: Heavy Support Command Beacon doesn't force you to move the units that you selected to bond with to Death Commander's position. You could just take a turn with them. And I think with the combine that fact with the movement for the Deathstalkers, you can get a lot of board control that way, just by picking fights with Death Commander. Get him engaged with someone, and that one person that's engaged isn't going to be able to say, grab a glyph that your one squad of Deathstalkers is doing on that turn.
Oh yeah.
And then have the other two just, to add insult to injury, run up and maul them.
Yeah.
Like, I've been saying this ever since we played with these guys, with these custom Deathwalkers in general. They're mean. They're just very, very, very mean.
They are part of Utgar.
Yeah,
so
it goes with the territory.
Kind of mean.
There obviously, people can make the argument, like, there is, like, more swingy stuff in Heroscape, or there's something that maximizes turns that much, but I'm at a loss to find, like, a squad that can get 5 good attacks in on one order marker with rerolls.
Rerolls.
God, that's just like...
I think this might be the best team, but you tell us if we're right.
Yeah.
Would taking a Death Commander Mark III, dogs, and Zedian guards or who else would you fill the gap in with that 300? I mean, would you take more dogs? Would you take another Deathwalker?
Maybe, yeah.
How many points are that custom squad we just got? The
Which ones?
That's a good one. Yeah. Who we doing, Louis?
Oh God.
How much are they?
They're hefty. They are at 190, and once we get to them, we will explain why.
Yes.
But we can tell you that they are a large, unique Solborg squad that follows Utgar.
Yes.
And I think they have a range of 8.
Yeah,
8 or 7.
They got a dirty.
So
dirty.
Yeah, they're very nasty with Death Commander.
Yeah.
That's one thing I love about the people who make these custom units for Heroscape. Even if you're taking units that were made like 5 years apart by 2 completely different people.
Yeah.
One was legal or inducted into the CV3 SOV. One wasn't. You can still kind of find hidden, like, unintentional bonding or unintentional synergies.
Yep.
And that's why I kind of picked and choose with taking stuff to kind of build up the Utgar Solborg army this way. Like we talked about the Zedian infantry before. We talked about this guy, and they are legal, so you can run both of them. Yep. In fact, that might be effective too. Taking the Zedian infantry, bonding him to get closer, and then taking a turn with Death Commander.
Yeah.
Because that you can make like a little bonding chain by doing that. Move this.
Wait a minute.
You can't do 3. You can't take 3 turns on one order marker.
Why not?
Okay, so that Heavy Support Command Beacon specifically requires that you have to take an order marker off of that card to activate it.
When revealing an order marker, that's right.
So what you're supposed to do is take a turn with him legally, normally, and then do it. You can't, because when you're bonding, you're kind of taking a turn with him with the card that you put the order marker on, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you can't do like crazy chain bonding, but if you do take the Zedian infantry with these guys, I still think it's pretty viable, because you have 2 units on the board now that have their own unique ways of bonding.
Mm-hmm.
The Zedian infantry have a very traditional bonding.
Yep.
That's very flexible, but then you have this, which is just super aggressive. And it's really meant to put the pressure on your opponent. Like if you win initiative, you're able to close the distance between him and your other guys. You're either going to be potentially hitting 4 figures with explosive rounds, or getting engaged and then just putting on more damage with other figures in your army. So it's just a good way to get your whole army involved with one figure, basically.
Yes. So, with that is Death Commander Mark III. Are you going to take him? Who are you going to take him with? Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us?
Is he the best Death Soulborg unit? I almost
Yes.
said Deathwalker again. Is he the best of his kind?
Yes. Is he the commander that we've been looking for?
Yeah.
And with that, thank you so much for joining us on that Heroscape Spotlight. Leave a comment, leave a like, and if you want more, make sure you subscribe to this channel, Joe Crazy 3193. Have a good night.
Bye. Okay. It's pretty good.